So today we'll be doing that. Today we'll be taking phenols, that is identification of phenols, different tests which are necessary to do identify of phenol. Okay, so let's go one by one. Let's go one by one. First step is your indophenol test. First step is what? First test is your indophenol test. So what is that? You phenol. You treat it with NaOC, that is sodium hypochlorite. Okay. What is the first step? You oxidize your phenol using oxidizing agent like sodium hypochlorite. Okay. The first step is what? You treat your phenol. You treat it with sodium hypochlorite NaOCl followed by. So what do you get when you treat it? You get an quinone oxidized to a quinone. This when you treat it with ammonia, you get an corresponding imine. You get a corresponding imine. And this imine, once you treat it with another molecule, phenol will be there in the reaction vessel. So if you test tube. So when you treat it with another phenol, it undergoes a coupling reaction. It undergoes a coupling reaction to give your indophenol, which is blue in color. So this is the test for your phenols. So how do you test? You take your phenol, you oxidize it with sodium hypochlorite. Okay, then you convert, you get a quinone. Okay, this quinone, when you treat it with ammonia, you get your imine. This imine, when you treat it with another molecule of your phenol, you get an coupled product and you get your indophenol, that gives you the blue color. This is the first test for the detection of phenol. This is the first test for the detection of your phenol. Now let's go for the second step. That is the first step. Now let's go for the second step. You have done in your last year when you are doing your PUC 1 practical, when phenol is treated with ferric chloride. Okay, you get an white PPT, that is of your complex with your ferric FeCl2 plus HCl. So this is white color PPT. Okay, so this is your white color. What is the second reaction? Phenol reacts with your ferric chloride and you get, sorry, it's a violet color, violet colored solution. Okay, that is the second test for your phenol. You treated your phenol with ferric chloride, you get a violet color solution. This is an identification test for your phenol. That is an identification test for your phenol. First is your indophenol test, where your color changes to blue. Second is your around of color changes to your violet color of FeCl. Okay, so that is your second step for phenol. Now let's go for the next step, that is azote test. Okay, benzene sulfonic acid diazonium salt, when you treat it with an phenol, when phenol is when phenol is treated with a diazonium salt. Over here they have said that benzene sulfonic diazonium salt. You can use a normal phenyl diazonium salt. Okay. When you treat it in presence of NaOH, diazonium salt in presence of NH, you get an orange colored dye. That is nothing but your diazonium product. Okay, orange colored. So this is an ethanol. That is your azo dye test. That is your azo dye test. It's a azo dye test. Okay. So that is your third method. Next is when you treat your phenol with bromine. When you treat your phenol with bromine. So what happens when you treat phenol with bromine, aqueous bromine? As you said, it will give you a 2,4,6. That is 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Okay, and this is white precipitate. You get a white. Initially, it is a clear liquid. When you add bromine into phenol, you get an white precipitate of tribromophenol. You get a white precipitate of tribromophenol. This is the fourth method for detection of your phenol. This is your fourth method for detection of your phenol. Now let's go for the next. So now this is the basic phenol. Now there are three different types of phenols that you have to know, substituted. One is your normal phenol. Just show you. This is your phenol. See, remember, this is your phenol, normal phenol. So if there is another hydroxyl group, if it is by hydroxyl group at an meta position, if the hydroxyl group is at 1, 2, 3, this is your phenol. If the hydroxyl group is at meta position, it is known as resorcinol. And the third compound, now, that is your plain phenol. Now second is your resorcinol, that is 1,3-dihydroxybenzene. Okay. Now the third phenol is, this is phenol, resorcinol, and your third one is when it is ortho substituted. When your when there is a second hydroxyl group at the ortho position, it is known as catechol. Okay. Mono substituted benzene, hydroxyl, phenol. Di substituted at 1, 2 position, hydroxy substituted, it is known as resorcinol, and 1, 2 or ortho substituted hydroxy substituted phenol is known as your resorcinol. So what are the basics? See, now they will ask in exam, they should tell differentiate between the three different types of phenols: phenol, resorcinol, and catechol. So let us go for the physical properties. First, the phenol is white solid, crystalline solid. Resorcinol is buff colored, and your catechol is grey colored fine powder. First is your crystalline, second one is your flaky, and this third one is your grey colored solid. So that is a color, and then odor, phenolic, peculiar odor of other two compounds. They got an peculiar odor. Okay. Now let's go for the next. This was the physical properties difference between Phenol resorcinol. Now let's go for how do you differentiate these things chemically. How do you differentiate this chemically? How do you do it? By using azodite test. Okay, by using azodite test. Okay, you take 1 drop of aniline, 1 drop of aniline, add dilute HCl until it dissolves. Okay, then add NaNO2 solution, that is sodium nitrite solution. Okay, then okay, this solution is it. So this, when you add all these things, diazonium salt will be formed. You get a diazonium salt, that is anilinium diazonium salt is formed. So this is the first step. To this, add this diazonium salt, add few drops of phenol. Add few drops of phenol. Okay, and 10% NaOH. 10% NaOH until all the phenol. Yes. Now mix it. Mix both the things. Now mix both the things. Okay. You prepare phenol. You make a solution of phenol in NaOH, and then add this solution to your diazonium salt at 0 to 3. So what happens in case of phenol? In case of phenol, you get an orange color. In case of phenol, you get an orange color. Okay, phenol and resorcinol will give you orange to red color precipitate. Okay, whereas in case of catechol, there will be no azodie formation. There will be no azodie. Resorcinol and phenol will give you orange to red color PPT, whereas in case of catechol, it will not give any PPT. Okay, decomposition to purple color, dark purple. We will not get PPT. You get a dark colored, purple colored solution. This is how you differentiate between your phenol, resorcinol, and your catechol. This is the first, that is azodite test. Okay. Now let's go for this next test. Okay. Next test is phthalate test. Next test is phthalate test. What is phthalate? Phthalic acid. So what do you take? You take your phenol, you add phthalic anhydride and few drops of concentrated H2SO4. Then heat it and cool it. Once you get this solution, then this solution you add it to an solution of 10% NaOH. The above solution you add it to NaOH. So if you get an, in case of phenol, you get an pink color, that is your phenolphthalein indicator. You get your phenolphthalein indicator. This is how your phenolphthalein indicator is. In case of resorcinol, you will get a green fluorescence. Okay, you get a green fluorescence. And in case of your catechol, you will get a blue color. So phenol will give you pink, your resorcinol will give you green, and your catechol will give you blue color. So this is how you can differentiate between your different types of phenol, substituted phenols. Okay, this is how you will differentiate between the different types of phenols. Okay, very much important. Phenol, phthalic acid, few drops of H2SO4, heat it, cool it, then add it to the NaOH solution. Depending upon the color, you will get a pink color in case of your phenol, you get a blue color in case of your resorcinol, and you get a blue color in case of catechol. This is how you can differentiate the three. This is how you can differentiate the three phenols, different types of phenols. This is the similar test what has been told. I have told. This is the representation. What happens pink color in case of your phenols. Okay, resorcinol. How different acids can be treated. What happens when phenol treats with different acids. Okay. Now this is the reaction, how it occurs. So what if you see this? This is how you represent your formation of phenolphthalein. This is how you represent formation of your resorcinol. Okay, phenolphthalein. This is how your phenolphthalein indicator, which you use in your acid-base titration. This is how you use. So what happens? You are phthalic anhydride. Okay, phthalic anhydride. C double bond O O. Okay, so this is your phthalic anhydride that will react, fuse with two phenol molecules. So it will undergo condensation over here. The carbonyl group will condense with your okay, and this there is a loss of water and you get your phenolphthalein indicator. Which water is lost, you get an phenolphthalein. So this is your phenolphthalein indicator. Similarly, when your resorcinol is treated with your phthalic acid, you get your fluorescein indicator. You get your fluorescein indicator. Both the sides, your phenolic, your two phenols will be there that will be linked together, and you get your fluorescein moiety. Okay, this is the reaction for the synthesis of your phenolphthalein and fluorescein indicator, which are used as an indicator in many type of titration, in different types of titration. Okay, these are the indicators that are used in. So depending upon the starting material, resorcinol will give you what? Fluorescein, and your phenol will give your phenolphthalein indicator. Now this is the next step reaction which is asked. Explain Lieberman's test for phenol. Explain Lieberman's test for phenol. Explain Lieberman's test for phenol. This can be asked for 2 marks separately. All these tests can be explained, the respective test can be asked for 2 marks or a 5 marks question. Okay, so you have to, when write the test for determination, you have to write everything. Okay, okay, so let's start with the Lieberman's test. So what is Lieberman's test? When a phenol, okay, when a phenol, I will just draw with black color phenol. When a phenol, okay, is treated with nitrous acid, is treated with nitrous acid, HNO2, in presence of an sulfuric acid. Okay, when a phenol is treated with nitrous acid in presence of ester, it forms para-nitrosophenol. It forms what? Para-nitrosophenol. You get a NO group at the terminal. Okay, you get an NO group at the para position. This undergoes resonance stabilization to give your okay, so this will undergo resonance and you get your O and NOH. You got an oxygen. Okay, so this nitrosophenol will undergo resonance and you will get this particular intermediate. This intermediate that is formed. Okay, this intermediate that is formed. Okay, it will react with the phenol. It will react with another phenol. So the intermediate which is formed in the first step, it will react with the phenol moiety. So you got this. So, and this will give you in acidic medium. Okay, this is in acidic medium. So this will be there in H2SO4. Okay, so what it will form? It will give you a blue colored intermediate. It will give a blue colored intermediate. So what happens? This will fuse together to give a blue colored intermediate. I am drawing it in blue color only. Okay, you got an phenolic OH. This is connected and so water is lost. Water is lost over here. OH plus and HSO4 minus. This is an blue-green colored intermediate. That is, in acidic medium, it gives you blue color. Okay, this is the first. So you get an positively charged cation. Okay, now what is the next step? To the same thing. To the same thing, if you add excess of water, to the same thing, if you get excess of water, it gets converted into red or brown colored intermediate. So this gets converted into a neutral compound. Okay, you get an OH red. I'll just show it in the color only, red color only. So once you add water to this, excess of water, it gets converted to red color. See, you can see OH you get a neutral red colored species. This is your neutral. Okay, this is your red color. Now the same thing, this intermediate, if you then this red colored intermediate, neutral red colored intermediate, if you treat it with a base, sodium hydroxide, if a base, so it will get converted into an, so it will get converted into an, see, sodium salt, green colored. So once it gets converted into an phenoxide, over on the other side, you get an green colored intermediate. So this is in basic color. So in acidic color, it will be blue. In neutral, it will be red. And in basic, it will be green colored. So I just want you to write this particular thing. I'll come in a minute. Okay. I want you to write this reaction. Very important. And I'll come and ask. So these are the different tests. So in case of in Lieberman's test, first thing is your formation of your nitroso intermediate. Okay, so in acidic condition, this will couple with phenol to give you a blue green colored intermediate, which further when added neutralized with water gives a red color. And if you add NaH to this particular neutral species, you get a blue colored indophenol green. You get a blue colored indophenol green, which was the Lieberman's test, which is your Lieberman's test. Very important to be studied. Okay. Now, these are the various structures of your phenol. So, as I said, first one is your phenol OH. If the hydroxyl group at 1 and 2 position, it is called catechol. If there is hydroxyl group at 1 and 4 position, it is known as quinol quinol, and see next thing, if there is an methyl group, so it is an preservative. It is known as paracresol, and if there is it is benzofused, then it is known as alpha naphthol. So these are the different types of phenols which are present. Okay, these are the different types of phenols that are present. Okay. Please write these structures in exams. These structures are asked. In exam, these structures are asked. Phenols. What is phenol? What is catechol? What is resorcinol? Okay. What is quinol? What is orthocresol, paracresol? Paracresol is nothing. Orthocresol is nothing but CH3 group at ortho position. Naphthol. Okay. Uses of phenols. What are the uses of phenols? Are used when it is treated with formaldehyde. It is used for making of your plastics, that is bakelite. For the synthesis of cyclohexanol, hexane dionic acid, which is used for making of nylon sheet. Preparation of various dyes like azo dyes, different types of dyes can be prepared. And one of the most important thing, 4-chloro 3,5. So if you see, you are using this compound daily for in case of corona. See, what is this? You get a phenol, that is 4-chloro. 4-chloro 3,5 dimethyl phenol. 4-chloro 3,5 dimethyl phenol is nothing but your Dettol that you use it in your home daily. Okay, this is your active ingredient. This is your antiseptic property. The 4-chloro 3,5 dimethyl phenol is nothing but your disinfectant Dettol that you use at your home. So what is Dettol? Dettol is nothing but 4-chloro 3,5 dimethyl phenol. Okay, that is your Dettol that you use at home. Okay. Cresols are precursor for many synthetic intermediates used in other compound making, plastics, pesticides, and pharmaceuticals and dyes. So cresol is another this thing which can be used for preparation of various preservatives. DHT, that is, if you see DHT, it contains your isobutyl group at the tertiary butyl group at the ortho position, okay, of your paracresol. Okay, so that is your DBHT, that is 2,6-di tertiary butyl 4-methyl phenol, that is your, which is mostly used as an preservative in and an oxidant in your, if you see your this thing, if you see in your packages, food packages, so it will contain this compound OH methyl tertiary butyl, this group BHT. If you see, if you check your this thing, tertiary butyl methyl phenol. Okay, so this is your mostly which is present in your as a preservative and antioxidant in most of your food products. It is used as an, others are there used as disinfectants, pesticides, etc., antiseptics at low concentration. These cresols are used as germicides, strong germicides. At higher concentration, at low concentration, they are used as disinfectants and your antiseptics. Resorcinol. Okay, this resorcinol is used as an antiseptic preparation in eczema, that is a skin diseases, psoriasis and all. Okay, it is used for the treatment of skin disease, scaly skin removal and all in roughened skin. The resorcinol, if you see in many of the ointments, this resorcinol will present as an which is used to remove your dead skin and also used in the treatment of acne, that is your pimples, can be used. So that these are the various uses of your phenols. Resorcinol used as acne, dermatitis, eczema, psoriasis and other skin diseases. Treatment of corns, warts, if you see the overgrowth in your skin, and removal of dead scaly